Hey, everybody, welcome to another great episode of the Suzette Speaks Show. I'm so excited that you found me. Welcome, welcome. I see you guys already in the chat. You guys are in for a treat. I'm excited to be talking about a subject matter that came up due to a lot of the conversations I've been involved with on the Lead Attorneys television show and some on my channel as well. So I figure why not just address it head on? And that is the question as to whether a strong woman can also be a vulnerable woman. Now, I have my own opinion about this. I feel like, yes, in so many ways, I am yet vulnerable and strong at the same time. But I think there's a lot of confusion around what that looks like. I think sometimes people confuse what it is to be strong and how vulnerability can help you also with your strength and operating in your strength. So we're going to talk to a woman who has it all. No, she's not going to let me say that. But a friend of mine, she's calling in today from Houston, Texas. She happens to be also an attorney, a lady lawyer. She also has a family and 3 kids under 6. And I was talking with her about her journey in dating and finding her loved one. And it was an interesting story. And I saw nuggets of strength, and I also saw nuggets of vulnerability that I felt like I needed to bring to the masses, because most people, I don't know why, think professional women can only be one or the other. Is that your thought? I hope it's not your thought, but we're going to talk about it today. Can a woman be both strong and vulnerable? I'm excited about our topic. I'm excited to see so many of you guys already in the chat. You know what to do. It's the Suzette Speaks Show. I'm going to go ahead and drop my couple disclaimers, let people come in, but I want to welcome you, whether you found me organically on the YouTube algorithm or you're joining from Facebook or found me through the Lead Attorney Show. We are ready to have the discussion for the ladies, and I know there are a bunch of gents going to be watching too, so y'all can chime in. It's all welcome. We are very excited that no matter what your opinion, we want to make it known that there are women that are living with very real circumstances that look like they have it all together, who feel as if they have to keep it all together, but oftentimes there are so many areas of vulnerability. Some people may call it weakness. I don't call it weakness. I actually call it strength in a way, because it is actually allowing us to show that we are human beings, even though there are times that we have it all together and we got it popping, and other times that we're like, girl, I'm a hot girl having a bad day. How about that? I don't know if anybody's with me or anybody know what I'm talking about, but there are so many parts of my story that reflect in a mixture of strength and vulnerability. So we wanted to pull back the curtain. You know, that's what the Suzette Speaks Show is all about. We want to keep the conversation transparent. We want you active in the chat, so you know what to do. Go ahead and like and subscribe if you're not already subscribed. We have a wonderful guest, like I told you. She also is an author of a book of poetry where she kind of puts together all sides of her strong side and her vulnerable side, into poems about her life. So I'm excited to introduce you to her and her book. It's available on Amazon. All the information is going to be in the description. But I love the fact that she wrote about motherhood. She wrote about friendship. She wrote about her childhood and the ways in which she felt vulnerable and the ways in which she felt like she needed to show that too can be strength. So I'm excited to have her here. I'm going to welcome you guys. You guys know what to do. I am appreciative of any support you want to lend. So I'll put up my Cash App. You guys know I am able to receive super chats as well. What's up, YouTube? What's up? Show some love. Show your girl some love and support this stream, support what we're doing on the Suzette Speaks Show and this channel. All of you, I am so grateful already for all of the super chats I have received since I think it was Thursday that I was able to be monetized. So no matter where you are watching from, drop a comment. Let me know that you're in the building. Again, I do this for everyone who is dealing with inner struggles, who doesn't have a safe space to kind of open up and be their real selves, and to discuss issues that hopefully will allow us all to grow and become, truer to ourselves. So that's what we're going to do today. I want to welcome y'all. Before I bring her on, you guys know what it is. This is a Suzette Speaks show. Please be respectful. You guys know I like to run a well-oiled machine. Shout out to my moderators already in the chat, by the way. I see you, Gaston's World. I see you, RM. Going ahead and sharing the information about my guest's channel as well, or my guest's Instagram and her book. Please make sure you guys drop that in the comments. But also, if you guys don't know, I'm an attorney here in South Florida, and I do personal injury cases. However, I will not be rendering, and neither will she, any legal advice through this stream. It's for entertainment and informational purposes only. Y'all know that. So I just want to throw it out there. So make sure if you do have a legal case, even though she's an attorney and I'm an attorney, you got to speak to an attorney directly. Okay. You can reach out to me on socials, or her if you happen to be in Texas and have an issue that she will be able to help you with. But please don't take anything we say here. This is not legal advice. All right. So now that that's clear, again, I'm going to look for all of my folks who I know are watching. I see y'all. Please drop a comment. Let me know where you're watching from. I'm so excited again. This is a topic that came by way of all of the prior shows that I was able to do with the one and only lead attorney, where I think I was just so surprised by all the DMs, all the messages, the emails that were like, yo, you were really cool, but you're an attorney. And I'm like, so y'all didn't expect me to be cool, or y'all didn't expect me to have a softer side, or y'all didn't expect me to be just like any other woman who, has strength and has a vulnerability together. It was just so interesting to me that people, not everybody, of course it wasn't everybody, but I did get a significant amount of feedback that seemed to be quite surprised that a woman could hold her own in the courtroom, in business. You can fill in your blanks, ladies. Come on now, get that chat active, and be doing her thing in the business world, but yet still be vulnerable. And I was like, do they really not know that we, put our skirts on one leg at a time like every other human being, or our pants one leg at a time? Do they not know that there are tons of people that hang it up when they leave the office and come home and are just as loving and caring and vulnerable as the next woman? I feel like I was hearing a lot of stereotypes about professional women that I know I don't fit. I know my friends don't fit. And I wanted to talk about it. So here we are. I was ready to say, you know what? There are going to be people who assume that just because you're a professional woman, you don't have the vulnerability. But nothing, in my opinion, in my experience, can be further from the truth. So I wanted to know, is it just me, ladies, or what? Are we only able to be one or the other? Is it a stereotype? Do women hold this stereotype? Do men hold that stereotype? And more importantly, does it serve us for where we are now and the realities that we live with? I want to know what y'all saying out here. All right. You guys know what to do. It's the Suzette Speaks show. I want to welcome you, those watching from across the world. I can't believe my audience is almost at 3,000 subscribers. Oh my goodness. We're growing, y'all. And thanks to you and each and every one who has already subscribed. I appreciate the love and the support for what we're going to do through this channel. Again, I want to thank you for all your support. Hit me with a super chat. I won't be mad. My super chatters who won the book yesterday, I will be contacting you. I think it was a tie for the top highest giving super chat yesterday. And I was like, nah, they would make me have to get 2 books and mail them, but I don't mind. I appreciate the love. We had a book giveaway yesterday. If you missed yesterday's show as well, we ended up talking a little politics, but thank you to Coach Rochelle Sylvain Spence, my author on the stream entitled Push Past Your Pain, was doing a giveaway. So I will be in contact with the people who won that book. But yeah, today we're just going to wrap, y'all. It's about you guys. It's about the conversations that have been happening since my appearance on the Lead Attorney Show, since my bursting onto the YouTube streets, and since we all seem to be curious about, a woman's role in a relationship. Oh man, I got a good one for you, y'all. Today is the day. I wanted you guys to be ready, and I see the chat bubbling over. Again, show your support. Hit me with a super chat. I'll receive the blessing. Thank you so much to all of you who've already been super chatting and sending me super stickers and all of the like. You guys know I love it, and thank you for the love and support of this channel. But again, I'm going to read some of your comments. I'm warming y'all up. My guest is a former, well, she's worked for the federal government. She's practiced immigration law. We met at our first job together. I've known her for almost, I don't know, almost 10 years, probably. To watch her blossom as a woman has been a gift, because you don't always get to see people or know people and stay friends with people throughout the stages of life. But I was curious, y'all, how you doing it? Are you strong? Are you vulnerable? Are you allowed to be either or, and when? Did your now betrothed husband see you in your strength? Was he attracted to that? Did he see you in your vulnerability? How quickly did you show him that side? Is it necessary for you to operate in your vulnerability on a day-to-day basis as a mom? I have so many questions for her. And when we were preparing, y'all hit that like button. Come on now, get the likes up. Come on now, get the hello, y'all. My regulars know what time it is. Please hit the like button. We gonna get you there, but we got to get the likes up to make sure everybody knows, where the conversations are, particularly those deep-seated conversations that go from the inside out, that help us improve our lives, hopefully by understanding ourselves better. That's what we do here on the Suzette Speaks show. I'm not a relationship boss. Y'all know my struggles in that area. Let's be vulnerable. But I wanted to get somebody who I consider an expert, has written her own book of poetry, has shed some light on this yin and yang in every woman's life, professional women in particular. We have to balance this. And I don't know if society, due to the movies, due to the media and what they say about us, y'all, I don't know if they think we can. What y'all got to say? Hold on now. It's going to be a good one. It's going to be a good one. Let me go read some of the chat. Again, welcome one and all. You know I love you. Please hit that like. And if you're not a subscriber, you know what to do. I'm going to read. Oh, I got a super chat. Oh, okay. I see you, Jean Max. Welcome. Looking forward to listening to the Mighty Queens. And we want to listen to you too. There's two sides. The coin balances, right? So we are welcoming the guys. I know there are a lot of guys watching this. So please, we want your feedback too. But peace be unto you, inspired one. Thank you. Hey, RM. Thank you for being a wonderful moderator. I appreciate you. Gaston's World, also a YouTube creator and helping me out today. Thank you so much. Check him out. He has some wonderful commentary on Insecure and just his life, good lifestyle program. So please check out his stream as well and subscribe. I see you, David. Thank you. First things first. Let's go. Get those likes up. Hi, Pat. Nice to see you. Thanks for joining. I thought I was the first. You wasn't first today, though, David, but you was close. My moderators were already in the chat before you even started. But salute to you. Curious about this topic. Hey, Sunbreeze. Nice to see you. West Coast in the building. Wanting to know about this topic. Trust me. Every topic I do, guys, is usually something I'm struggling with or wanting to dig deeper into in my own life. So this is one such topic. When I was put on the hot seat in front of this large audience, this platform called The Lead Attorney, I had no idea how much soul searching it would cause me to do thereafter. And I think it was a good thing, even though, like I said, I got thrown or pulled on the stage. I don't know which way you would call it. A little unprepared to talk about my personal life, dating and relationships and that stuff. But I think it did yield some good stuff. And I think one of them is conversations like this, where I think sometimes, not everybody, pigeonholes professional women into categories, saying that we're either super strong, can't let the guard down, we got the walls up, and we're pushing, we're pushy, don't want to be told what to do, not compliant, right? We want it our way. We want to be in charge. Oh, somebody who has heard that before with y'all professional women's selves. And then either you're that or you are the delicate flower who wants to be loved And you can set the bubble bath for me. And I get my hair did and my nails did. And I keep it beautiful and, dainty. And I cook and I clean. But, it's only one or the other. Y'all can't be both. Why do people think you can't be both? Yeah, am I the only one who has had that type of feedback since coming into these YouTube streets? That we don't want the educated ones. Them degrees ain't worth nothing. That's what y'all say. Some of y'all say. Throw the whole degree away. Throw the whole degree away. Get rid of it. What y'all talking about lawyers? Oh my gosh, men don't want lawyers. Oh my, is that true, guys? I'm talking about feelings was all type of hurt. I had messages from men and women, pages long, asking me, talk about this, talk about that. So here we are. We're going to talk more about it. Again, not entirely my comfort zone, but if it helps somebody, let's do it. But yeah, it's an interesting line of conversations we've been having. If you haven't watched the stream called Don't Ask Me Why I'm Single, go back and watch it. And if you haven't watched the stream called Love for Ambitious Women, where I had a little bit of a moment I had to collect myself on, go watch it. And if you didn't see the original stream with me and TLA, when I was thrown into the fire, thrown onto the hot seat, talking all my business, asking all kind of deep questions, thought I was going to listen to TLA and the one Miss April Mason. And instead, I was the star witness for 2 hours talking about Black women and relationships. And I'm like, what? How did this happen? Really? This is what we're doing here? If you don't know the history, go back and watch some of the streams, y'all. I'm just trying to catch you up. But yeah, the conversation came to me. Sometimes you gotta follow the breadcrumbs of life and go with it. So here we are. So since y'all so interested in relationships and what women who are professional do and don't do, and how we act or don't act, whether it be real or supposed or a stereotype, I wanted to bring a real woman who's been in the single life, on the dating scene, who has found someone, married, had some children, and entered a different phase of life, but is still, a professional, drawing on those same professional skills to run her household, and has had the privilege, really, by way of a husband, to be able to kind of do some things that she likes, like writing books, like teaching and doing classes, online classes to help women. So there's a lot of transitions in life, y'all. We all always got to look ahead because we're not going to stay in one place. We got to evolve. We're not always going to be in one thing or one way. So I appreciate the fact that she has gone through certain phases and she can look back now and say, lessons I've learned. Oh, y'all ready? Y'all ready? I'm ready for this. Let me say hello to my people. I see you, Sunbreeze. Ace B. Nice. You like the top? I didn't know if I was going to do flowers today, but since we're talking about, femininity and vulnerability, I say, let me put the little flowers on so that, it go with the theme of the show. Why not? Let's go. Wife and baby mama. I'm Bayesian and I love, what's up? Big up. I was just talking to my brethren. He's from the Bahamas this morning. What's up, wife and mama? See you. I am both. I'm professional. I got married at 35 and I have 2 healthy kids. Good for you, love. Big up to all the Caribbean strong, professional, and vulnerable ladies. Big up my Bayesian queen. How are you? I'm like, no, I said Bahamian. I said Bayesian. Barbados. God forgive me, Barbados. Jesus Christ. That's what I meant, sis. Barbados, my Bayesians in the building. Big up Barbados. My favorite DJ. I don't know if you listen to DJ Puffy on YouTube. That's my favorite Bayesian DJ, and he does me right for my workouts. But big up my sister from Barbados. I'm over here talking about Bahamas. Forgive me, but love you, sis. Thank you. Happy Sunday. Combative with a nice voice. Ooh, that sounds like strength and vulnerability if I ever heard it. Nice to see you. Big up, Andrew. Andrew, you're one of my winners. Been holding me up, as TLA would say, from day one. Reached out, introduced me to some people on the politics side. I'm so grateful for you. I'll be collecting your mailing address soon. You were one of my top super chatters yesterday, and we'll be winning a book from author Rochelle Sylvain Spence called My Energy, as she says, how to shift the mindset. Big up yourself, my brother. Thank you for your support from day one. I appreciate you. I see you, Urban Lady, a past winner. She won the book from Abigail Cousins called My Unspoken Truth. Thank you, Urban Lady. Good to see you in the chat, my love. Please, yes, hit the like, hit the subscribe. Y'all know the algorithm needs you, and I need you therefore. Thank you, RM. Hey, L.O. Lovely to see you. I can't wait for what you have to say, my dear. Please be chiming in. Master Lion Tamer. Thank you. I can't believe I monetized this fast. Everybody's saying like it's a record time. God has a mysterious way of working. And when we're outside of our comfort zone, we often find blessings there. So thank you so much, Master Lion Tamer. I see you. Indianapolis, Indiana. What's up, Pat? In the building. Thank you so much, Pat. Y'all so sweet. Come on now with the super chat, y'all. Come on now. Already? Appreciate you. Thank you. Holding me down yet again. Thank you, Urban Lady. Good to see you, my darling. All right. Andrew Brooklyn, you know he always representing from NYC, from New York in the building, you know. Are you in South Florida? I did not know that, L.O. Okay, hometown girl. Bed-Stuy. Y'all get hype. I'm just excited about the topic. I'm excited about my guests. You know she got kids, so I got to hurry up because I have to get her in and out. Thank you. Oh, the lead attorney was on fire. You know I was getting ready. I didn't even go over there. I'm going to have to watch the replay. I didn't go over there yet. But he was rolling today. I can't wait to go peep my big bro and what he has to say. Thank you. Let's see. Ace B says, there's a lack of visibility of the professional woman and man. There. Let's start there. So we don't even get to see different types of professionals that are Black because we don't see many at all. How about that? And what is being called professional, I don't know. Some of these shows be talking about professionals. I'd be like, I don't know if they're really professional. I don't know. Y'all can go give me a trouble. Okay. All right. Let's see. I think the issue, says L.O., my South Florida queen says, I think the issue is a lot of people think in terms of war. In terms of this war, that instead of this or that. What do y'all think? Grandma of 11 says, TLA even admonished women who did acknowledge that thank you, Grandma of 11. Hey, first of all, TLA even admonished women who did acknowledge that you were still vulnerable, even being an attorney. Yes. I was just like, you can't win for losing. Like, what I'm supposed to be? Y'all thought I was going to karate chop TLA on his own show. Being a guest on a platform I've never, anticipated being on that day on that subject matter. I was supposed to go up there and be, I don't know which attorney I would say, like Marsha Clark on him. Really? They doing that? Nah, bruh. That's not even my personality. And especially in a space that I consider to be more conversational and not combative. I didn't even anticipate any of that. So yeah, I think it's very interesting. Men may, or not all men, I can't paint all y'all with a wide brush, but men may have a different opinion. Hey, Rose D, I see you, girl. Shout out to the strong and vulnerable ladies. Y'all make that. Yes. Because we can be both. Who is saying we cannot be both? Because I've heard that several times since I've been in these YouTube streets. Why is that? And if you believe that, tell me why you believe that. I'm like shocked. They were acting like I'm a unicorn out here in YouTube. She's feminine and she's an attorney, and she's feminine and she's really where y'all live at? Wait, who y'all mess with? I want to know where y'all live at. What's the zip code? What they doing over there? They're not doing it down here like that. I know several women that are holding it down on the business front and got their families and got their men and holding it down and making sure both home front and the corporate side are taken care of. And they're doing it with grace and with love. And it's not, it's exceptions. Hello, somebody. Y'all, let's get it started. Ace B. They are not visible now after segregation. Interesting, says Grandma of 11. Those of us from the 60s. Okay, Grandma. Remember having professionals in the neighborhood. This is a word. This is a word. This is a whole nother subject. The impacts of desegregation and how we stop seeing in our face the Black doctor next door, the Black nurse across the street, the Black veterinarian. Now we like, are there Black veterinarians? Yes, there are. but we don't see them. We don't always have access to it, especially where you live. I happen to be in a big metro area. So I think there's a lot of Black attorneys. But guess what? Nationwide, there's only 2% of all attorneys are Black female. Nationwide, I'll say it again, 2%, right? Think out of 100 are Black female. But almost all my friends, we rocking it like we the majority here in South Florida, but I know I live in a bubble. Most people will never meet a Black female attorney in their life with only 2%. Most judges will not see a Black female attorney. I've gone to courtrooms in North Florida and they're looking at me like, why are you sitting where the attorney? Well, because I'm here for a case, judge. I'm sitting in the attorney's box. Yeah. Oh yeah, it's a lot of that too. Talk about being vulnerable. All right. Women giving relationship advice. Come on now, TBE. Let's see what you got to say now. Shout out from Massachusetts. I didn't know that's where you were. Fantastic. Yes, grandma of 11. I agree. There are a lot of Black people that are lost right now. I see you. Did your husband see your strength? And was it his strength that he was attracted to? Yes, I asked that. Thank you. A wife and mama, my Bajan sister. I hear you. I want to know because they telling me it's something wrong with it. Some people telling me that. Some people telling me that, oh no, you must be so strong. I have people who I went to, I remember like a young chiropractor. He was so cute. And I remember saying something to him and I was like telling him that something was wrong. And he was like, see, you always want to be strong. And I was like, whoa, I'm sorry. I didn't say it rough. I didn't say it loud. I just here to get an adjustment, trying to tell you what's up my shoulder. And because I told you, you say, I always want to be in control. Sir, is it you that has the presupposition based on past experience, based on who you grew up with, based on your neighborhood, based on just people you know? I was really shocked. And then I seen him with a scallywag. Then I seen him with a scallywag at the party. I can't make this up. Is there no hope for the professional woman? Is there no hope? Is that what y'all want? Yeah, well, I'm glad it's some men in this comments. Okay, Suzette, you need some atrocious rock music like Kevin Samuels, yes, to get it pumped, because I am pumped on the inside. Hey, Patrice, what's up? Nice to see you. I'm excited. Thanks, Miss B. I will be on Miss B's show this Thursday. Miss B, Finesse in the building. Y'all hit me. I think we start at 1 on Thursday over on Miss B Finesse's channel. Thank you, Miss B, for that invite. I can't wait to get over there and chat with your subs. Yes, we need to hear the men's point of view. I'm not leaving y'all out, HB. You know I'm equal opportunity. I'm not leaving y'all out. I'm just saying this is a woman who has gone through several of the stages I'm talking about. Hey, Simcia in the building. Nice to see you. Good afternoon, Andrea. Lovely to see you too, darling. Yes, we trying to stay positive. We're going to try to keep it real. Thank you, Guest and World. That was such an positively impactful conversation. First step is being present. Absolutely. I'm caught up on all of the streams. Okay, so thank you, Simcia, because there's a lot that has taken place, and I'm going to be referencing some of what already happened before. You might be like, what is she talking about? The men online, I hope don't make up the views of men offline. Oh, okay. All right. Okay. Maybe it's just who happens to be present today. I won't say it's all men. Okay, I hear you. The men online want a dependent woman, says Ace B. These men want unilateral power. That's what y'all want. Chopping heads. I'm not even going there, SB. Thanks for your opinion. All right. Master Lion Tamer says, I went to law school and Black women lawyers as wives are a mixed bag. I know plenty of them who are good wives and a few, quote, I don't need a cookbook. See, Lion Tamer, why you trying to get messy already? I hear you, though. This is your truth. This is your experience. Okay. I receive it. No cookbook for you. No cookbook for. I think it was Soledad O'Brien. Do you guys remember her from CNN? Who said, I don't cook. Soledad O'Brien said, my husband knew I'm good with this finger, which is the dialing finger. That's cool. I'm hype, y'all. I'm ready for this discussion. All right, let me bring my guest on because I know she got a limited amount of time. I was thinking about the prosecutors covering Ahmaud Arbery trial. I bet they are marshmallows at home. Absolutely. You put on your persona, you get in that courtroom, you deal. I was like, people were like, oh, is she a lawyer? How could she be a lawyer? Do you know we can flip that switch? I mean, think about a football player. Like, they compartmentalize. They're not cracking heads. Well, some of them are, but for majority, they can leave the football field on the football field. But when I get home and I'm on TLA, y'all want me to be the gladiator out here? I was like, what? They talking about, wow, she lose cases. Like, are you dumb? Like, I was so confused. But I think people had such a one-track mind of what a professional woman is all the time. It frightened me. I was just like, okay, I don't know if this is representative of everybody, but those few who did drop those comments, I was like, where they live at? And they need to meet some real professional women, because the ones I know, they juggling, bro. They put on this hat, leave that hat, get this hat on, do what they got to do, and do it with grace, and do it from a point of, a heart space at their homes. It's a different ball game than when we in the courtroom, in the courthouse, and in the boardrooms. That's a different person for most of us. Now, I know there are people that can't shut it off. Now, I'm not gonna say everybody's the same, but I was like, can I get the presumption of innocence, guys? What the heck? Y'all was like, oh, she can't be no lawyer. She just soft. I'm like, yikes, where are we? So we have to have this conversation, y'all. I see Miss B Finesse chimed in. Yes, my husband is very attracted to my strengths. Amen. And I was professional, and he supports all I do. Oh, you are blessed, honey. You are blessed. Okay, I see you. Ace, y'all, let me be me, Ace. Thank you. Let me be yes, got the floral. Yes, RM is here. Hey, Coke Child, Zachary Shaman McLeod. Nice to see you. I'm not licensed to practice in Nevada, only in Florida. So I'm asking for a friend, only in Florida. And my girl who's coming up, she works in Texas. She's also licensed in Florida too, but she handles immigration here and there. So, okay, you can ask her. Thank you, Andrew. Everybody is so hype. I'm excited. All right. So without further ado, all right. Yes. I like everybody who has time to be judgmental. That's sometimes what I want to ask, but apparently people have like time to write you and ask you some weird questions. And I'm like, this can't just be me. Oh, Dental Chef, what's up? The problem was TLA had one point of view on how he thought the stream was going to be, and he didn't let you know. Yes. I didn't know it was supposed to be a cross-examination, as he put it after the fact. Talking about, oh, I got her. I was like, we were having, in my opinion, from my perspective, a friendly conversation about, our lives, our experiences. Now he's talking about, oh, ho, ho, got her. What? Okay, I'm gonna leave my boy. But yeah, I said he was in the Hellcat. I was in the Volkswagen taking an interview. Yes. Okay, HB, we're getting on the subject. Okay, the 1950s housewife is a fallacy. Ooh, when it comes to Black community, isn't it? I got a couple of cousins that live at home or work from home. Not even work, stay at home, excuse me. Black women are working outside of home to supplement that. Yeah, I kind of think so. I think because of economics, we have less full-blown stay at home than other cultures. I absolutely agree with that. We don't have the convenience of that because we need the two incomes based on what we in general bring home. I hear you on that. I hear you. Okay, you've met several too. Okay, Rose. Hi, Rose. Thank you for the super. Thank you. God forbid we earn a living. Child, the alternative is poverty. Listen, they should have told us when we was 18, either go to school or just stop, apparently. Because once you get bills, you have to pay them. And I know it looks strong, but I can still keep my vulnerability even though I'm working because I have bills now. We can't be in poverty. I hear you, sis. He wanted you to be the attorney for the women because he see you. Yes, people told me that too, that he thought it was going to be that whole ball game, boo. When I'm off the clock, boo. When I'm in the YouTube streets, boo. Unless I'm talking politics or whatever. Come on now, TLA. But it was fun. It was fun. Did you say, yes, 2%? You are the chosen one. I hear you. Can you imagine? Sometimes when I read that, I think about that. Only 2% nationwide. I was like, well, 1% of them must live in South Florida because I know all these Black women between Atlanta and Miami. We done took up a whole 1%. Maybe New York too and DC. But all right, let me bring my guests on. All right, Black women, says Ace, Black women had two roles, i.e. working outside their home, working inside their home. White women could afford to stay at home. Y'all hear this? I hear you. Shots fired. I ain't shooting though. Scallywags is real. I did see him at a party with the girl, and I was like, oh, that's what he's looking for. Fantastic. Fantastic. All right. Links, what up? Links, I want to link you And this gentleman has such an interesting story. We're going to see if we can get on Wednesday. God helped him find love. We're going to call it God Found My Mate. Y'all remember this? When I did my interview of TLA, he came on saying that he found his mate through, I was like, we have to do a special show. So links, I will get you on email, my brother. Yes, there isn't anything wrong with strength. It's all about when. I hear you. Thank you. Scallywags. Why you know what? I'm done with y'all. Okay, what you saying, DT247? Unfortunately, in most cases, PhD, aka proud, helpless, defenseless, as Kevin Samuel says. That's what, okay, I don't know about that. I've not heard him use that. Oh, was I considered? Well, the Cairo was cute. I'm not gonna lie. I wasn't sure if he was vibing me, if I was vibing. But it was too late when I seen him with the scallywag. It was a shock. All right. Thank you for the super chat, my peoples. Thank you, Blind Guy, his wife, their life. Appreciate the support. Check out their channel. They have an awesome channel going on. Buy yourself a coffee. So when you move from an attorney section in the courtroom, they can have the energy to keep their eyes open and respond professionally and not roll them hard. Yes, trust me. There are several courthouses I've been to, Middle Florida. My guest will attest, where I was like, ooh wee, they have not seen a black female attorney. I can just smell it when I walk into the courthouse. And they looking at me, I'm looking at them. Yes, you looking at me, I'm looking at you. No, I'm not the defendant. Thank you. I'll go through the attorney's line. Thank you. Here's my bar card. Appreciate it. Yeah, trust me, I might do that. Thank you, Blind Guy, for his wife, their life, for the support. I love to see, says Lors Lovesmith. I'm glad to see your duality. Now, please go cook my rice and peas. That's what we on. Sunday, you want your rice and peas and your curry. You know what? All right. Pete, let's get serious. All right. If business is first for her, her husband will be, no, this is what I'm going to ask my guest this. If business is first for her, her husband will be third to fifth behind herself. Oh my Jesus. Business and education, her family, etc. You need to choose between wife and modern lady. I hear you. This is the part of the discussion where I feel like we're gonna get to the nuts and bolts. Y'all ready for my guess? Guessing, I'm gonna redo the last one. I know I love the comments, but y'all have a super chat. Now, hello. Wow, I didn't know this would be such a contentious conversation time, but there are some serious talking points that we still need to work things out. I appreciate you, Gaston. Thank you. Yes, TLA kept it funny. Hey, Sister George, I got your email. How are you? I would love to be on at some point. I think December, though. The next couple of weeks is real crazy. I have plenty of guests. I will touch back base with you and support them. Thank you for stopping in, sis. I appreciate you. I love the chat. All right, so we without further ado, let me get my guest going. All right, so I have a beautiful woman here. She's an immigrant. I'm going to allow her to tell her own story. How about that? She's an attorney. She has written a wonderful book talking about strength and vulnerability. That's why I thought she would be really appropriate, having gone through the single phase, now married, now mom. And I think she's going to bring some insight. You ready, my love? I'm ready for you. All right, unmute. Okay, y'all welcome my guest. None other than attorney, author, and adjunct professor out of Houston, Texas. Y'all welcome Miss Marron Gebremeskel. What up?
Yeah. Hi, I'm so happy to be here. And I'm currently in Dallas-Fort Worth area.
Oh, I forgot you're in Dallas now. You don't move. My bad. You be moving back and forth, girl. I know.
A lot.
Welcome. Go tell the people about yourself. Tell them a little bit about you.
So I have been married for about 7.5 years to my best friend. And I have 3 little ones. I have a 1.5-year-old, an almost 4-year-old, and an almost 6-year-old. I've been practicing now probably about 12 years. I've been a foreclosure attorney, and then I moved to Texas and I was a foreclosure attorney in South Florida. And that's where I met my great friend Suzette, and then moved to Houston to do immigration law. I started my own practice. I've had it for about 10 plus years off and on. And I really wanted to be an immigration judge at one point. So I decided to move to the federal government. I felt like that would be a good foot in the door. to become an immigration judge. So I was an asylum officer with USCIS, the Department of Homeland Security. I was an immigration services officer as well. And then just recently, I was a trial attorney for HUD. And interestingly, I was very pregnant when COVID started. And I had a new baby coming. And I had just started the trial attorney job at HUD, and I was just like, you know what? There's a lot going on. I was breastfeeding and working from home. I had a lot to balance and do, and keeping up with home, keeping up with work, and I needed some me time. I wanted to fulfill a goal that I've had pretty much all my life, to start and publish a book. And so I did just that. I started in January of 2021, and I finished before the end of 2021. And I have this book, Cactus Fruit, a book of poems where I just pour my heart out. It was very hard for me because I was very vulnerable in it. And it's pretty much a story about me, talking about my childhood, about motherhood, love and marriage, emotions, friendships. So just a lot of different topics that made me uncomfortable, but also made me feel strong and amazing, and being able to put it out there and just be honest and authentic. So
I love
thank you for having me, Suzette.
Of course. So hit that like button. This is, again, attorney Marron Gebremeskel. So tell the people where you're from, Marron. I know your story, and I always find it interesting. But when people don't know, folks from a place that you're from, I love when you can bring light to it. So tell people a little bit about yourself as an immigrant.
Yes, so I was born and raised in Fort Worth, Texas, but my parents came a few months before I was born as refugees of Eritrea. It's a small country in Northeast Africa. And I had a very unique experience growing up. So I would not necessarily feel that people would see me as fully American. And then on the Eritrean side, people wouldn't see me as fully Eritrean. So it was like this middle ground, and trying to balance it as the daughter of immigrants, but still knowing that being Eritrean is a big part of who I am. So.
People was asking already, are you from Ethiopia? No, she's from Eritrea. It is close by, a neighbor actually. But thank you. I put it on Maz Eyob. How are you? He's in the He's like, let me clarify for you. All right, so we know where she's from. I'm grateful that she's here. We have a lot to talk about, and of course, she has a wonderful book. All of the links to her book will be in the description. So yes, so when we talked about this topic, I was like, Madam, what you want to talk about? And she was like, well, I got this book, and I talk about this and that. And I was like, okay, perfect. This kind of aligns with what I've been kind of challenged with, and getting to talk to TLA and others. And people were asking me about, being strong and vulnerable. So before we get that, let me ask you this one question, because everybody wants to know what inspired you to be a lawyer. Let's start real quick. How did you become a lawyer? Let's see where that decision came from, and then we'll go from there.
Yeah, so I went to the U, represent University of Miami for undergrad, and I knew from undergrad that I wanted to go on to law school, and I went to FSU for law school, and the big focus was I wanted to do either immigration law or international law. I wanted to focus on an area where I felt like I could help people like my family. I had cousins who went through the immigration system, and I just felt like, with my background, with the knowledge that I was gaining from universities, I really wanted to help people like, different members in my family. So it was very personal to me. I do a lot of, or I do, and I've done a lot of asylum work, specifically. I've also done the adjustment of status applications. I've been in removal proceedings. I've also just done a lot of brief and appellate writing. And it's interesting that you brought up, Suzette, about how sometimes you go in the courtroom and they don't even know like who's the. I've been asked many times. So are you?
Yeah, you look so smart. She's very petite, y'all. I'm sure you get it. Like,
I get it a lot. So are you the attorney, paralegal? Are you the applicant? Yes, I feel like it's obvious.
You in the immigration court, they asking you.
Yes, all the
Feel like I was
time. I
born
mean,
in Fort Worth. I was born in
yeah,
Fort Worth.
it's
Thank you very much. I love it.
good.
So now we know it was very personal to you as to why you became an attorney. And I want to now get into a little bit about this strength versus vulnerability. And if you want to super chat me, y'all could do that. I'm going to try to focus a little bit more on the convo so I can get some of these points home. All right. So do you find there is a conflict for you in being strong and being vulnerable? If so, how?
Um, I don't know. The quick answer is, I mean, I consider myself strong, but I also consider myself very vulnerable, and I try my best to be authentic. Um, but I will say that it was difficult in writing this book, putting certain feelings and emotions out there. The section that was the hardest for me was talking about um, love and marriage and my husband, because I was like, I don't want to put, my first draft was just all the perfect stuff, because my husband is an amazing man, and I love him and I adore him. And I sent it to a few friends, and they were just like, so your marriage is just perfect. It's just easy. And I was like, you know what? I can be more honest. So I went and included more of the honesty and the difficulty in marriage, because it's not just about getting married. It's about staying married and putting in the work, compromising, learning how to be vulnerable, to be authentic, but also to allow your partner to do the same thing, because we're two separate people, but we're becoming one, and that's difficult. But there's a lot of work that goes into it. So that was the scariest section for me. I mean, it's, and I wanted to make sure that nothing I wrote offended him or made him feel uncomfortable. So I shared all of the poems that I thought would make him feel uncomfortable, and he was just like, "What's the big deal?" No, I am confident, and um, I'm I'm secure in our marriage. So he was 100% okay with anything I wrote.
Right, so the vulnerability started with, okay, we're gonna take off the pretty perfect marriage hat and we're gonna let y'all know. I love it. What's really going down in these marriage streets, I guess I would say, because a lot of people just want the wedding. And the real work, as she says, really ends up happening after you're married and trying to put together two lives, two personalities, two ways of doing things, and now learning to work as a team and a unit. So tell me about your culture, because I'm always curious about. I know your mom, so I know you took a lot from her, and a lot of women of color. We look at our moms, most women, but particularly us, because our moms sometimes have different struggles than our other counterparts. So, talk about your examples at home of strength and vulnerability, particularly through your mother.
My mother is one of the strongest women I know, but she's also one of the most vulnerable and real women that I know. She came before I was born, so she was very pregnant when she came. She didn't speak English. She went on to get her GED. My parents divorced when I was young, and so she raised me mostly as a single mother and worked full time. She got her associate's degree in psychology while raising me and working full time, and then went on to get her bachelor's degree while working full time and raising me in microbiology. So education was very important to her, because of where she came from and how, how hard she worked for it. So she instilled that in me, the love for education. But she was also very sweet and soft to me. She, whenever I would do something wrong, a lot of times, and I had attitude here and there as a teenager, she would want to talk about it. Why are you feeling that way? What were you thinking? And sometimes I'd be like, can you just spank me and get it over with? But she was my mom, who was just so authentic and in touch. She was very emotionally intelligent, and she has taught me to be vulnerable, and I'm striving for that every day.
Tell me a little bit more about her. Um, I guess, do you think as a single mom, it was imprinted on you? Because a lot of people talk about whether a single mother can show a woman how to be a wife, or if they are automatically going to be turned away from marriage because they're raised by a woman by themselves. Do you have any of that residue, or did you feel any of that either with your mom advocating for or perhaps saying, be single, do it on your own? Did you have an influence either way when it came to what your mom was telling you about marriage, being that your parents had divorced and she was here by herself, hustling with kids by herself?
Yeah, so she was never an advocate of just, be single, you don't need anyone. In fact, my mother remarried, and they're still married and doing great. So I was able to see that side as well. But she was very um, honest with me. I could talk to her about, even till this day. She is someone I can talk to and lean on for advice. She's not judgmental, and she's honest with me. Actually, that reminds me, I would love to read a poem that kind
Oh
of
yes,
reminds me
please
of
do.
my
Please
mother's
do.
strength. That
Hmm.
if that's okay, Suzette. Can you hear
Yes,
me?
love. Yes, go ahead.
Okay. So this is called "I'm Not as Strong as My Mother." I'm not as strong as my mother, but still I am strong. I cannot endure all that she has endured, but still I have endured. I am not a refugee, but I am not completely at home. I have suffered, but not like her. I am great, but not as great as she. My life is simpler than hers, yet it isn't simple. I was born in America, afforded a life better than hers, but better does not make it mean it was easy. My mother has been like a painting for me, one that I am not quite a replica of, but the artist is the same. My mother and I are the same, but we are different. I came out of her, but we are separate. She gave me her womb, but not my thoughts. She gave me direction, but I chose my path. My mother is strong, fierce, amazing, but she is herself, and I myself. I wish I were as strong as my mother, but the truth is I'm not, but still I am strong.
Lovely.
So,
Lovely.
and
I
that's
love
just
it.
going into her strength. I don't think I'm anywhere as strong as she is. I think she's amazing, and I hope to be half the woman she is. But she has shaped me into the person I am, and I'm just
So
grateful for her. I don't know if I lost you, Suzette. Um,
thing. So I wanted you to talk a little bit about your mom when it comes to how people. You guys can hear me. Yeah, there you go. Struggle stream a little bit. But tell me about your culture when it comes to women and strength. I think sometimes, particularly in African cultures, Caribbean American cultures, and African American cultures, women are taught to be strong. Don't, complain. Wake up early, do what you got to do, all those things. Was that also a practice of strength that you saw your mother display?
yeah, and I don't even want to just focus on my mom. I was raised around a lot of other Eritrean women, family members and friends, and I just felt like I don't know how they're doing it. They would have five, six plus children, work two jobs, come and cook and clean. And I mean, in my mind, they're just doing it all. And I just didn't understand how they can do all that without like skipping a beat, barely sleeping. So when I became a mother and started to see how difficult it is to manage a household, to work, um, a part of me feels like I can't complain. I look at what the women before me have endured and went through. But I think it's important to be honest with myself and who I am, and understand that maybe it would have been easier for someone else, but for me, it's difficult, and I'm a work in progress, and I will continue to work at it. But just to be honest and vulnerable, that I'm not perfect, and I'm far from it. I would like to be, but it's not who I am.
So let me ask you, since we're on the motherhood, and we're going to get to other stages of life and dating and meeting your betrothed, but I want to ask you about your mom's vulnerability. So we know a lot of times mothers of color, Black mamas, despite the the ethnicity or ethnic origin, show strength first. My mom is a very strong woman. My mom worked, day in day out as an immigrant mom, a registered nurse, night shifts, overtime, just so she could get home so that she would take us off the bus, or the things like I see now that I'm like, God, Lee, when I have kids, I'm going to be able to do all this. I'm struck by how strong she was as well. I only, as an adult in our relationship, have been privy to her vulnerability and understanding her own deemed weaknesses. or her own acknowledged flaws, where of course when you're growing up they're perfect and they could do no wrong, or they're just trying to guide you so you don't get to see that softer side. Did your mom display vulnerability to you openly during your childhood, or now as an adult?
I mean, she was vulnerable like one on one with me, but when it came to complaining and talking about how difficult it was, I feel like my mom never complained. She she would just do. She would make it work. She was just a fighter. She's just amazing. But the truth is, now that I'm older and I'm able to talk to her, I am able to realize that she had her friends that she could talk to and lean on and be honest with. It didn't have to be me, her child, but she dealt with a lot, and she had friends, she had family members that were there to help her deal with it. And that's why I think it's important as women, if you see another woman struggling, if you notice a family member is having a difficult time, to be that shoulder to lean on, to support one another, and just understand that we all need love and just help.
Yeah.
Sisterhood, I think, is very important, because I think she had a lot of that.
So she always had the support of other women in
Yes.
her difficult times before she got remarried and all that, in a new country, didn't know the language, all that, had other sisters holding her up,
Yes.
and had to be vulnerable to say, I need help, I'm sure, from
Yes.
time to time. So let me ask you this, since we started with the lawyer question, can lawyers be vulnerable?
I mean, of course. I mean, honestly, I'm going to be honest. To even answer the question is
It
almost
seems
like,
foolish.
yeah, it seems
But
like,
I'm gonna throw it out there because I got so many responses and inboxes that made it seem like you're so different. You are a very feminine lawyer. You know how to handle yourself. You seem like you do want a family. And I'm like, where did we go wrong? When was the
I,
messaging kind of
I
like
don't know.
conflated?
I
So it's
mean,
not everybody, but I had enough of that feedback that I was like, let me do a program that kind of clarifies what we feel. So tell me what you think when people ask the question. Please humor me and say, can a lawyer be vulnerable? How would you answer that?
so the exact question that I probably come across is like, oh, I would have never guessed you were a lawyer. You just seem so like
Down to
normal, like
earth, right?
yeah, like a real person, as if a lawyer is a fake person. But the truth is, a lot of those beliefs have come from the media, from what you've seen and what you think a lawyer should be. A lot of times where people are asking me, should I go to law school? They bring up, oh, I like to argue, and I like to be the center of attention. And oh, I don't like to lie very much. So should I go that route? I want to be so honest about,
Oh,
I almost want to be
the
like,
first thing
you
they
don't
say
even,
is I don't like to lie.
yeah, I don't like,
Dang,
can you be like a real,
dang.
yeah, you get a lot. And I really think that it's just like they just don't understand what we really do day to day. I have friends who are attorneys who've never been in a courtroom. You can do
Exactly. You don't even
transactional
have to
law.
go to court. Exactly.
Yeah,
But anyway,
it's not a requirement. It depends on what area you do. You can just do brief writing. Even if you're doing immigration, you can be in removal proceedings. You can be an employment-based immigration attorney. You can do asylum. Like, there's so many areas, and it's just not really. I think what the issue is people don't really understand what the practice of law is. It's so broad and it's so extensive. And yes, we are normal people, and yes. Yes, we can be
yes,
vulnerable.
that part. You're
Yes.
like, please don't ask me that again. Okay, fine. I won't ask you that again. So when if asked to demonstrate some type of your within your career, an example of when you have been vulnerable, can you talk about on a daily basis, if you're with a client, if you're dealing with a supervisor, or dealing with a coworker, or whenever you are in that role, can vulnerability also be present? And if so, could you give us an example?
Yes. Um, Especially when I started doing removal proceedings, this is someone who potentially is going to get deported if or removed if they lose. My stomach hurts.
You
it,
feel for them.
yeah, you get
Hello.
nervous. And
Yes.
I'm saying this to say you get nervous. You have a lot of adrenaline building up. You have to keep up this, straight face. But I would go through a lot of different emotions, just nerves that I have to deal with because I have to be strong for them, but I'm feeling vulnerable. So I dealt with it probably more so at the beginning of my career, but I think you always get that, and if you stop getting it, we should kind of be concerned. But yeah, there are lots of times where you're nervous. There are other times where you might be dealing with someone and um, they say something that is fraudulent, and you say I can't take your case for whatever the reason may be. But there are lots of different issues you deal with that make you vulnerable. It's a lot of ups and downs with being an attorney. And another thing I want to focus on is I don't know how to put this, but I want to be, I can only speak for myself, but I don't necessarily love the practice of law every day. And I don't know if people think that all of us attorneys like love. Sometimes it might be one person is continuing to do it because they got to pay off their loans or you got to pay the bills. Or it might be like, well, what else am I going to do? For me, recently, I was a trial attorney at HUD. I have, like I said, I had goals of being an immigration judge. But I started to realize that I really enjoyed working for myself, and I didn't want to trade my time for money. Even if that hour is, a decent number, you have to work more hours in order to make a certain amount of money. And I didn't want that. I wanted to create something, a business that was scalable, that allows me to spend more time with my kids. My kids are very young, and this time is so precious to me. So I want to use it. I want to make sure that I'm present for them as much as I can
Let me
be.
stop you right there because I hear everything. We're going to get into family next, but I want to get into how you met Boo first. So we're going to get into some of that talk on how to date a strong woman, or do you lead with your strength? Come on, y'all. Y'all ready? I'm getting in there. I'm getting in there. I'm going there. But I want to do a quick reset because I see so many people have joined. Welcome to author, adjunct professor, and attorney Miss Marron Gebremeskel from Dallas. She is an immigration lawyer. She's here today to talk a little bit about lessons she's learned by being a strong and vulnerable woman. The question that had been posed to me on several occasions where people were like shocked that a woman who is about her business can have this duality and keep her emotions, keep her femininity, keep her, heart centeredness, as well as get the bag. So when we started to discuss this yesterday, when we were kind of doing our little prep call, I was asking you about, people seem to think, and I saw a comment earlier about whether a professional woman wants a family, as in the education comes first and then I'm number 5 and this is number 7 and all that. And I'm kind of like, actually, I never, in pursuit of my education, like you were just saying, wanted my education to be my all or everything at all. Never that. Career is not the priority for me. I got to pay bills is the priority for me. But a lot of people, I don't think, believe that. And I'm glad that you brought up that. And I had a conversation with Miss B Finesse getting ready for Wednesday or Thursday's conversation with her. She was just like, so you won't do this forever? I'm like, no, that's for me an outdated paradigm in general, because most people have 2 and 3 careers for their lifetime period. That the days of working at the factory or working at the, the good old job for 40 years are very rare. And most people before the age of 30 will change like 5 jobs. So we just happen to have a degree around ours, but lawyers do so many other things beyond law that it is quite actually rare to see a young attorney that says, I'm going to be an attorney forever. Like, no, we want other opportunities. We want to get bread and get the bag in different ways. And like she says, in ways that allow us to also have a family and pursue the other sides of what we desire. So let me ask you that. Did you always want a family? Did you know from the beginning of your law school career, or did you prioritize first career, then this, then that? What was that about? Because people seem to think that there is a paradigm around, well, she stumbled onto a family. That was never her desire. She wanted the bag instead. What do you think?
I definitely wanted a family, and I knew that before law school. So it wasn't a question of if I wanted a family, it was a question of finding the right person for me in order to create that family with. So
Okay, so there was no question. Now I gotta salute the big bro in the building. Y'all know I gotta do it. TLA, I was talking about you earlier. I guess you heard me talking about you. Welcome to the lead attorney. I see you in the chat, sir. Thank you so much. Everybody greet him, please. You helped me start this conversation, unbeknownst to me, about women and strength and vulnerability. And I'm glad you're in the chat, sir, because we have been talking about what women want and when and how and if they have the permission to be both strong and vulnerable. So yes, you remember those days, sir? I'm going to be an attorney forever. Yeah, right. Those days are over. For sure, for sure. I know you got to be here. This is your type of conversation. So I'm glad you're here, sir. Welcome, welcome, welcome. And again, to my guests, thank you for being here. I have attorney also and entrepreneur, I would call her, Marron Gebremeskel, who's here talking about her stages and transitions in life and where vulnerability and strength both played a strong role for her. So I'm really excited that she's here. And we were talking about wanting a family because I keep hearing this narrative. Y'all so strong. Y'all don't want no family. I'm like, that was never, ever, ever the plan. What are you talking about? The bills came, bro. And I had to work late and I had to keep doing what I was doing. But there was never a lack of desire for a man or a family. So talk about that. When y'all was dating, did you feel like you had to hang up the strength? Was he attractive? First of all, how y'all met? We got to get it all in your business. Just do what you can, but just tell us how that came about, because there's so many women that were in your prior shoes that are in your shoes now, who are professionals, who are seeking someone to love. And there are so many questions around what do they want. So can you take us back, please, to when you first met and what was that like?
Sure, of course. So I actually knew my husband from back when I used to live in Fort Worth. He lived in Dallas. Our family members knew each other, but we didn't know each other very well. Fast forward, we both moved. He's traveled abroad for work for many years. I lived in South Florida and then came back to Texas, but Houston. So yeah, he popped up on Facebook as one of the, people you may know. And I was just like, oh, hey. So I sent out the request to add me as a friend, and started like the conversation. I messaged him, said hello, how have you been, and the rest is history. So I would like to think that he sees my strength and he loves my strength, but I know that even while we were dating, he also saw my vulnerability and my softness. So that's how we met.
Yes, let me wait, hold on now. There's so much there. So you made the first move, because we have been talking about why don't women make the first move, or women afraid to make the first move. So you slid into the DMs, basically.
I don't like that saying, but I mean,
it's love, apparently.
I yeah, he'll even say, he's like, yeah, she came on to me, and I did. And but I initiated it, but I mean, he very much took it from there.
Okay, so you gave him the high and he came back with a 5.
Yeah.
He came back with a 5. You wasn't doing all the work though. Was you paying for meals and stuff?
No.
Oh, we trying to get the game now. People telling me the strength is not cute, and I'm like, well, what does that mean?
No, but I think there were other ways that I felt like I would send him gifts if I noticed that there was something that he needed. So it wasn't I'm opposed to it. I just did not.
So you were showing equal amounts of attention.
Yes.
And love and respect. It was not one way. He wasn't paying for all the dinners every single time though.
I don't remember. We've been married for a long time. I mean, it was
tell the truth, shame the devil.
I don't remember, but more than likely he paid for the majority of them.
Okay, cool. All right. So friend of a family member, didn't have contact for a while, saw him pop up on the Facebook algorithm, said, hey, what's up? And one thing leads to another, y'all dating, etc. Now you said you made the first move, and you have also shown him your vulnerable side. So it sounds like beyond, special gifts, which I think is wonderful. Tell me what you think was also attractive to him on your vulnerability side and your strength side. What did you think, or what did he tell you that allowed him to see himself as being a life partner with you?
I think so. I want to start by saying I think sometimes we talk about being strong and being vulnerable as if they're exclusive, as if they're, the opposite. And I don't see it that way, because I do think that I am both strong and both vulnerable. And it's not either or. So, in me being strong, I'm saying that I'm okay. I'm not shy. I can start a conversation. I can tell someone that, I don't like something. I'm just not a shy person. But I'm also very vulnerable and sensitive when it comes to him and our life. And I'm both. And I don't even know how to give so many examples, because we've been married for 7.5 years. In everyday marriage and life, we both support each other, we both love on each other, and we both work towards the goal of maintaining our family,
Wait a
maintaining
minute,
our
Madam
relationship.
Attorney. Wait a minute. Every day. Y'all heard that? She work on loving each other, supporting each other. Oh, wow. An attorney can do this? Oh my gosh. Where are we? Are we on a different planet? Oh my gosh. I want you to see the proof. Oh my gosh. A woman who sees her role as also being supportive. Oh my God. Y'all hear what I'm saying? I got this question so much, Madam. I know you might think it's like crazy, but I got this question and response so much that it was almost like a shock to me for people to believe that there was a lack of love, support, femininity, and balance to a woman who was a professional woman. And I'm glad you spoke of how the attorney thing is not an end all be all for you. You see beyond it even, and you were willing to make sacrifices for it. So talk a little bit about that. So I want to get back into the marriage a little bit more, but when you went into immigration law, when you started working for the feds, etc., what was the plan? And was he a part of the plan while you were doing that? So tell us a little bit more about the career side, since I hear some of the vulnerable side. Tell us more about the strength in the career side and what that looked and how looked like and how it has evolved for you.
So, I mean, I had a goal of being an immigration judge. I'm going to say IJ, for a while, and my husband was very supportive about it. And that's the reason I went into the federal government. But the first positions, I just felt like it was, and it might have been me, because I have been, I've owned my own firm for so long that it was hard to go back to being an employee. And so the first time I was saying, oh, it's probably because it's not an attorney role, that, it's just out of my comfort zone. So I had the HUD trial attorney job. And I really, by the way, my employers were great. My supervisors were good to me. I they were, everyone was nice. Everyone was nice. They were extremely flexible. But that even made me realize more, like, I just don't want to do a 40-hour work week like that. And I know I'm saying 40, but a lots of attorneys do even more than 40 hours. But it was not what I wanted for my life when it came to raising my children. I mean, I was working from home, but I would be, sitting there every 3 hours nursing my baby, and, literally baby right here and on the laptop. And I didn't want to do that. My goal is not, that made me realize I did not want to be an immigration judge, that it wasn't for me. But I also, although I enjoyed owning my practice, I wanted to step back and find some way to scale my career. I really enjoyed writing this book. The whole process of writing the book has made me realize lots of things about myself, the things that are important to me, the things that I love, that I enjoy. And I want to continue writing. I want to continue empowering women to look within, to think about, not just going through life because I am still a lawyer because I'm supposed to be, because I went to law school. But do you enjoy practicing law? Do you enjoy practicing medicine? Whatever it is that you're doing, are you enjoying it? And is it something that you want to continue doing? If you need a break, take that break. I understand that I'm able to do that because of the support of my husband, but he's been very supportive, and I would be supportive of him as well. Like, we support each other, and the goal is to continue to do that, but to find that career path that allows me to work. So the goal is 20 hours or less and make millions. But
Child,
I
if
will
you
work
find
60
it, let
hours.
me know.
I'm gonna write a book on it.
I'm not, no, there's no, listen, and I know you, of all people, will figure this out. So I'm just saying, I've signed me up for the class. Once you figure it out, I'll be on that track, because it would help a lot of people to be able to balance a little bit more. I see some questions in the chat. Thank y'all for showing love. This is Suzette Speaks with my special guest, Marron Gebremeskel, talking about both strong and vulnerable women. There's a question that was raised by, I think it was Ace B, because there has been so many insinuations that men in prior programs, prior streams, are led to the altar by women. Now, did you feel like you had to direct or lead or in any way guide your husband to the altar, or that he know, okay, this is going to be my wife for himself, or did you drop breadcrumbs for him to understand what was going on?
I think in one of our first meetings, he said, I'm trying to find a wife. So he was very much searching for that. And I was searching for a husband. So we were both very much on the same page.
So you didn't need to nudge and pull him. I think Lee said by the nose.
I think so.
It wasn't none of that.
I mean, I would have to ask.
Okay, good to know. Good to know. And then I think there's a very big point that's being made. I forgot who said it, that, you know, aggressiveness is not the same as vulnerability, or excuse me, aggressiveness is not the same as strength. And I think that also sometimes gets confused in the conversation when people are like, oh, are you being aggressive? Are you being this? Are you being that? No, that's not what we're talking about when we're talking about strength. Sometimes we do have to be the leader. Sometimes we do have to pick up some of the weight when it comes to the income. Other times we have to help, you know, in other ways. But it's not about being aggressive or being combative. That's not what we're substituting for the word strength. So thank you, whoever brought that up. Thank you. Simsia says, and thank you for the Cash App. I got it. Thanks, Simsia. He says, when a woman's attraction level is high, the man will not have to worry about being ghosted. This is true. So maybe that's another point. And I saw they was like, Sisu, get in the DMs. That's the comments I'm getting, just FYI. Get in the DMs. All right, so let me talk about, okay, so you were never concerned with, I'm losing my practice and I don't want to, can you hear me? All right, hold on. Sorry. There you go. You're never concerned about losing your practice, or not having the prestige of being a lawyer anymore, or not wanting to, you know, give up the dream of the immigration judge. Was that something that never, or were you wrestling with it? Let me ask you, were you ever wrestling with that?
Yes, I was wrestling with it. I want to say, no, I could easily, but it is difficult. It is something that I've gone back and forth with. It's not easy. And it's not even necessarily about giving up being a lawyer. It's about so much money and time has been put into this profession. And I am considered, you know, to know very much what I'm doing in immigration law, and to let that go is difficult. But I'm okay with it. I've come to terms with it. And I think it's going to make me better to do that. But it is hard and it is a struggle. So I don't want to make it seem like it's like, oh yeah, from the beginning, I just knew that was the plan. Yeah, it's difficult.
There was consideration given. It wasn't just like, oh, okay, high five, I'm going to be at home more now. I got 3 kids under 6 and this is what's needed. I'm going to just, you know, hang out that hat. It was a discussion. It was a lot of kind of soul searching on both of your ends, I'm sure, to make sure that happened and happened properly. So let's talk about a little bit about dating. Did you, before you met him, did you have to kiss a lot of frogs, as they say? What was the dating world like when you were decidedly ready for a husband? Did you tell me about where your mindset was leading up to him?
Yeah, I mean, I was always searching for the husband. I don't want to say searching, but that was the goal, was to be married, to have a family. And so I kept focused on that. And if I realized like this person isn't the person for me, then I would just move on quickly.
It was like, I get it, you ain't the one, I'm out.
I mean, and I mean like very, just getting to know them, dating, have coffee here and there. But I think sometimes you can quickly tell if the person is right or not right for you.
How many dates does it take you on average, back if you can remember?
How many dates did it take me to find him?
Would it take, no, would it take you on average to know if that person was
I could tell you like the first. I mean, and I don't
I
mean
told them
like
3 to 4 days and they was gonna choke me.
I mean, you could just tell that. So, I mean, and the truth is, there are times where you're not your best self in that first date. But yeah, 3 or 4 is fine, but I think you could get a good idea on the first one.
All right. And then they're asking, were men in college marriage minded at the U? When you were at the U, were the guys there? They told us we missed the boat. They was already looking. Were they marriage minded for you when you remember the guys back in the day at the U?
Not the guys I knew.
Exactly.
But I mean, not and maybe there were some that were, but I mean, I was at the U, and people came to South Florida to have a good time, and so, but not that I remember. I mean,
okay, so they weren't, and as the men that you knew. And Gaston's World, thank you for your 2 cents. If I did have a good time on the first date, I'm gonna go on the second date. It's not like if the first date bombed, I'm gonna go on the second or third or fourth. No, if it was a good date and you were like good vibes, okay, let me see what's up. And then the second date was like, oh, okay, party over here. All right, let's do it. And then maybe on the third day you're like, oh, you live with your baby mama. Okay, you didn't mention that. That's when it gets to be sticky, but it's not a free for all. Don't think it's not them ribs and the free coffee, but yeah, okay, moving on. So you have some poetry that has to do with your husband, and you said that you were very intentional about making sure he read it first and it wasn't invasive, about the search, et cetera, et cetera. Can you give us a poem or two when it comes to that? And then I want to talk a little bit more about motherhood and all the rest of the stuff that you've now been experiencing.
Okay.
They want him to get in your business. Hold on. They said, did she say how old she was and her husband, how old she and her husband were when they met? And how long did they go out before they wed? Good question, Laura. Can you answer that for us?
How old was I when we were dating?
How old were you, both of you, when you met? And how long were you dating before you wed, if you're comfortable?
So you're asking essentially my age now, and I don't mind telling it. So I'm 37 years old now. We met when I was, I want to say 27, 28. We dated for about a year, and were engaged, and then married within a few months, less than a year after that.
Okay, cool. So it was probably like a month meeting to engagement to marriage. I mean, a year. Excuse me, a year.
Yeah, it was a year.
Okay, and then ASB before you got engaged. Okay, and ASB asks, does her husband have a problem with her income? Have y'all ever had a problem when it comes to you getting money and him getting money?
No, my husband is very secure, and my husband is he is very.
Let me ask you, he's the breadwinner.
Yes, he is.
Exactly. Okay. So he's a breadwinner. So y'all don't even have no problems with it, I guess, because he's doing what he's doing. Yeah, I agree. All right. Gaston says them ribs be expensive. I know, Gaston. I'm not trying to eat up your ribs, baby. I'm a pescatarian anyway. But anyway, yes, we don't do that. Anyway, your poem, please, madame, before we get into motherhood and the vulnerabilities and strength there.
Okay, let me find one. Hold on. I mean, just simple stuff like, as a married woman, you don't even want to talk about sex sometimes. And not only sex, but culturally, we didn't talk about sex very much. But I have 3 kids, so clearly that has occurred. And this was a very...
what you saying?
But this made me uncomfortable. You're going to laugh at what I'm going to say made me uncomfortable, because I came from such a conservative culture. It's called Parents with Young Children. Let's not be picky. Kids make it tricky. Lock the door and let's have a quickie. Short and sweet. All I'm talking about.
Hold on, I missed it. Say it again. Not so long. I was focused on the comments. Slow down. Go again.
The title is Parents with Young Children. Let's not be picky. Kids make it tricky. Lock the door and let's have a quickie. That is something so simple. It's so simple. And I could easily read that and say that to my husband. I was like, but babe, my mom's going to hear this. I have 3 kids. And by the way, I've been I've been pregnant 5 times, so I've had 2 miscarriages. So we've dealt with a lot as a couple, and something so basic was just uncomfortable to me because I'm a mom and I'm a professional and I'm Eritrean American. And he was like, are you serious that makes you uncomfortable? It did. It did.
Well, I can understand definitely with the cultural overlays, depending on religious overlays. I know y'all don't want to hear it. Cultural overlays. They want to know, is your husband Eritrean? He is, isn't he?
Yes.
He's also within her culture, absolutely. But yes, these are parts of us that we don't get to explore sometimes because of lack of vulnerability. We are taught, this is wrong. Wait till marriage. This is a sin. All of the parts of the sex talk, if you will, that sometimes women find hard to shed when they're kind of getting in that intimacy realm with whoever. So I think it's great. I know how strict your culture is, so I love the fact that you can write that.
Yeah, and I've done talks with groups like Habesha Moms where we're talking, and I've had someone say, well, thank you for writing something. It is basic, it is simple, but allowing us to talk about clearly something that we know all of us do.
It happens. Yeah. That's fantastic. So I know you got a little bit more time here. We're going to talk a little bit about motherhood, how you've made that transition. As you said, I know you did have 2 miscarriages, and being strong and being vulnerable in those times, I'm sure it's very tough. So I wanted to know about how you view your strength as a mom, and how has becoming a mom made you vulnerable?
Becoming a mom has honestly changed my life, the way I think, the way I live. My kids are my all, and they give you a new direction that you didn't even know that you wanted or needed. So I adore them. I love them, and I give them everything. I breastfed every single one of them for at least a year. And when I say breastfed, I nursed them. So I had to be in front of them every 3 hours, whether work came or whatever. They were going to get breastfed because they need to eat. But I often feel sometimes you have the vulnerability. For me, I want to read a poem that kind of explains it. I want to be so much for them, and sometimes as a mother, you feel like you're not enough. So I want to read this poem called Unworthy Mother. I am not a good enough mother. I'm not going to say that I have done enough. I'm doing a horrible job. You can't convince me that I'm doing the best I can do. I'm not worthy of them. You can't make me think that I deserve my children. And then at the bottom, it says, now reread from bottom to top. So I'm going to read the same poem from bottom to top. I deserve my children. You can't make me think that I'm not worthy of them. I'm doing the best I can do. You can't convince me that I'm doing a horrible job. I have done enough. I'm not going to say that I'm not a good enough mother. And that poem kind of completely explains how you feel as a mom sometimes, or at least for me. Sometimes I feel like I'm the best mom and I'm doing everything that I need to and want to do. And then there are other days where I feel like a failure. And I feel like, what am I doing? I'm not succeeding. I'm not doing a good job. But every single day, I'm going to work harder to be a better mother for them. So
yes, that's great. I love it. Let's talk about that feeling of unworthiness. It rears its ugly head in almost every woman and probably man's life. I can speak from the women's side that some of the most successful women suffer from what's called imposter syndrome. I've done live workshops about it. From the top, the most high achieving people are the people that feel imposter syndrome the most. It's real. And that sense that you don't belong there. You're not worthy of where you are. You don't deserve this. And when we spoke yesterday, Matt, when it hit me, when you were saying at times that you have felt you're not worthy of, such a great husband or the kids that you have, as you just read. What do you do with those feelings when you feel them? And I think that's a big sign of, vulnerability, that we can say out loud, we can write in a book, damn, there are times when I really feel like this, even though from the outside, again, the glitz, the glamour, people think those attorneys got it all going on. And we never have a moment of, insecurity. Talk a little bit about when you feel like that, or if that affects you, what do you do and how you get kind of your mojo back?
You talk about it, you say it, you say, I am feeling unworthy, or you write about it, you notice it, and you claim it, and you try to figure out a way to figure out what has made me feel that way. Sometimes I wonder, where is this feeling coming from? I don't know if it is from my parents being divorced. I don't know if it's from um, just not necessarily having a whole bunch of people who are professional women, for example, like me in the Eritrean American community. Um, but now it's very common. And so I'm not sure where it came from, but I definitely feel that way. In fact, I know I keep on jumping in with the poems, but this is a really short poem that kind of talks about it. It's
Yeah.
called Better Than Me. And
Mm-hmm.
it's, they are better than me. Have both parents at home. Were able to keep them together. They were worth it. I was not. Writing that poem made me feel so almost embarrassed of the way that I felt, but
Mm.
putting it out there to say that at that moment that's how I was feeling, and as a child that's how I was feeling at times, and that's okay. I think to talk about it, to notice it, and to try to combat it is very important. It's not helpful to avoid it, to push it down. I think you have to address it and try to figure out, why did this happen? Oprah's book kind of brought that up to me. What happened to you? And where she's saying that so many things um, that happened as a child to you kind of come as an adult. So all these things that happened as a child made me who I am, and I need to look into that and understand that it isn't the truth. Maybe that's what's going on through my head, but it's not true.
Hmm. I'm applauding you for writing and sharing that. Can you imagine the big bad immigration attorney keeping people in the country, helping people file asylum, helping people, live the American dream quite literally, can have moments where she remembers and even impacts her today, where she thinks about the childhood she had and the insecurity around, wow, everybody else has two parents and I have one, and how that record still plays, and we have to address it, as she's saying, when it comes up, and call it a lie. And I agree with you. That's why we're here. This is the talk. This is the open expression of the thing that we are so afraid of expressing. Thank you for sharing that, because there are a lot of people that feel that insecurity around being from a single parent home, that insecurity about, and when you get the man, the insecurity is still playing. Doesn't go away. So that's why it needs to be spoken. That's why it needs to be addressed. And that's a very powerful poem that you just read. A lot of people will not understand how they are processing, things in current times. Has a lot to do, as you just said, with how they were taught, where they were raised, how they were raised, and they will come back to us in these situations and relationships. Do you feel that? Do you have language, because the communication piece is so important in marriage and relationships? Do you have language to could you tell your husband that before you wrote the book of poetry? Did he know that about you, or were you able to express that to him?
The truth is, I don't think I knew that to tell him that.
Mm, mm.
But I read it to him, and he was there to hug me and to hold me. Um, but that's why I really genuinely recommend that women sit down. I know this is very kind of out of people's comfort zone, but write a book of poems about you. It doesn't have to be published. It doesn't have to be a bestseller. You don't even have to share it, but just go into the feelings that you're feeling that you didn't even know were there, because it really can transform the way you think and the way you live.
Yeah, girl, write it out, speak it. This is so important. You guys like enjoying it? Y'all drop some likes. She has a few more minutes with us, girl. I know you have the little ones itching and scratching and ready to go. So I'm gonna keep it to the time that we planned. But I'm enjoying this. If you guys are, please drop a comment. Let me know. You've illumined so many ways already, and I've kind of just again allowed me to see things in myself in order to prepare myself for that marriage journey, if God allows. So sharing your feelings is big for you. I hear that. Maybe we all need to do more of that, share our feelings. I hope I'm coming through clear and you can hear me okay. Um, do you feel like you are happier now in terms of your transition to motherhood, in terms of your transition into a wife, in terms of your transition to more of like, I don't know if I would call you part-time in the law? Do you feel like you are more happy now? And I'm getting a little feedback. I'm not sure. Yeah, maybe your battery's
Yeah,
dying.
and my battery is a little low.
Okay.
But
All right. We're gonna
just to
wrap
answer your
up.
question,
We're gonna
I
wrap
feel
up.
like, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yes. So, I feel like the transition. I think your question was, do I feel happier in the transition?
Yes.
Is that correct? Yeah, I do. I feel free. I feel free in feeling like my job does not define me. Yes, I am a great immigration attorney, and I can go back to it if I want to, but I need a break, and I want a break, and that's okay. It doesn't make me a bad person. I'm excited about it. I'm excited for what's to come. I'm looking to coach other women, empower other women, and create a support where we can feel like it's okay to transition to different careers or transition in different points of our lives, and know that it's okay. Our profession does not define who we are. But just in case my phone dies, I want to read.
No, I know. Go ahead, read real quick because I'm about to end it because your audio is going in and out. Go real fast.
So
go ahead.
Can you hear me?
Yes, go.
It's called Push. It was a beautiful day. It was an ugly day. He's coming, declared the nurse. Sorry, no time for an epidural. Push, she yelled. I can't, I screamed. Push, she yelled again. I can't do this, I cried. He was in handcuffs. Black face pushed onto the gray pavement, chin touching a solid white line longer than his face. The police officer's knee pushed on his neck like an ice pack for more than 9 minutes. You're going to kill me, man. I can't breathe, he cried. Mama, he shouted. Mama, I'm through. Mama, I love you. Tell my kids I love them. I'm dead. You're doing a lot of talking, man, replied the ice pack, his white hands pushed into his pockets. His mom heard him cry. Her baby was through, dead. One last push. My baby is through, alive. I heard Thomas cry. He is breathing. May 25, 2020. My son Thomas's birthday. George Floyd's death day. A day I will never forget. I wanted to.
Matron, I'm gonna have to stop you there because the stream is so bad. I have to stop it because it's like they said a struggle stream in Vietnam. Oh Lord. Within that moment, I was ready to I really want her to get that last poem out because it was about her last miscarriage and how it coincided with George Floyd's death day. All of it's so much in her book, guys. She is a good friend. She is an author. She has hopefully allowed for us to see the ways in which we can be both strong. I wanted to ask her a little bit more about the miscarriages and surviving those, but we'll have her back. We'll have her back. And I'm really grateful that she could spend the amount of time she has with 3 kids under 6 years old to chat and to give us her perspective on her journey. So I'm going to throw her information up one more time. I want to thank y'all for rocking with me today. Please do like, please do comment, please do share. Y'all know I got the Cash App. Thank you for those already showing love. Y'all can hit the subscribe button if you're not a subscriber. And finally, if you like what you saw, please support with the super chat. I want to go back and I'm thankful. I'm just thankful for moments like this where we can be transparent with one another, where someone who has walked in those shoes can share her perspective of how she made it through and what she learned about herself on the other side. And again, attorneys don't, I guess, enough in media get to show their softer side and their more vulnerable side. So I'm very grateful to have had the opportunity to share with all of you, the people I know who are rocking it, who are handling what they got to do, as well as being with the other hat, the nurturer, the caretaker, the mom, the friend, the wife, the lover, all of those other parts of us too as women, that we learn to balance. So I'm grateful to Matron. Matron, I know your phone was going, girl. I know you had to get to the kids anyway, but I want to read final comments. I'm so grateful that so many of you guys were on and participated. Like I said, this is her name. I'll have her book links on Amazon, Walmart. She in every store, y'all. She also did an audio book where she's reading the poetry. So I think you'll enjoy that. The audiobook is also available. So again, all of her info will be in the description. So again, for those who've already showed love, I saw you, Rose B. Thompson, with your super chat, girl. Thank you for always holding me down. Thank you so much for all my cash appers. Thank you, Simcia, once again, for being one of those who always help to support this show and its growth. Thank you, Andrew Walker, the winner of the book from yesterday's stream. He was one of the top super chatters and won a book by Rachelle Sylvain Spence, Minor G, How to Shift Your Energy. If you have not watched Push Past Your Pain, go back and watch that stream. It will help a lot of people. I just know it. So again, last call if you want to super chat me. This week, Mr. Links himself, we've been coordinating via email and now on Instagram. I want to bring him up. That's the gentleman who said he met his wife with a huge intervention. I would say divine intervention by God. And it was such an intriguing story that he started to share on the stream where I interviewed the lead attorney. It was like, nah, you can't just say it right now. We have to have you back. It was too deep. So hopefully Wednesday. And I do have a late evening stream on Thursday at 7. Before we get back on Saturday, I'm gonna bring back Dr. Tasha. Y'all liked Dr. Tasha. She was, Please Don't Ask Me Why I'm Single. If you haven't watched that stream, that's a good one. I think I have over 5,000 plus views of that one. But if you have not watched, Please Don't Ask Me Why I'm Single with Dr. Tasha. She will be back this Saturday. So like I said, I'll mix like the interpersonal in with the relationships a little bit because I think you guys are enjoying that side of our growth. Matron came back. Matron with the see her in the backstage. Y'all want to come up real quick? I don't know. I got a few minutes. Matron backstage.
I'm sorry. The phone died. The kids came.
You, madame, are the real MVP because
my son.
I just did a great wrap up. Don't worry. I gave you some good, wonderful accolades. I told them about the audio book that you recorded to go with the book of poetry. They can hear you read your poems. And I gave you a wonderful closing. But if you want to say anything else, I'm glad you're back.
Thank you. This is the struggle. In being a working mom. The phone died at the same time that my child knocked out the door saying, "Mom, come here." So, long story short, I want to reiterate that I feel like many of the women that I know are both very strong and very vulnerable. They're not the opposite. In fact, I believe being vulnerable, being authentic makes them even stronger women. And you're able to show up more for your children during that period in your life because it is hard. And I hope that I'm able to become even more authentic. And I look forward to helping other women. Please feel free to reach out to me if you're interested in coaching as a professional mom during this transition period that you're in. My email address is info@marrongebremeskel.com. I know that's a long name, so it's info@MarronGebremeskel. But last but not least, here's the book, Cactus Fruit, a book of poems. It means a lot to me, and I hope you guys can read it, enjoy it, and that's it. Thank you for having me, Suzette. It really means a lot to me.
I'm loving you. I love the fact this is the strength we talk about. She was like, I'm gonna get this.
I mean, it's not where
my child back out the room.
Perfect. It's not perfect, but this actually shows you even more of the difficulty that comes in every single day in life. But I'm not gonna stop showing up if I can.
Amen.
So
I love it. Well, thank you for your wonderful example of strength and vulnerability.
thank
I was just throwing up all of the wonderful feedback. Everybody was like, audiobook, what's up? You know, people are loving it. I know you're going to share this on your Facebook platforms. Thank you to the people who are watching from her platform as well. I know you're building on Insta and you're doing all that. Everybody's just saying, yo, I really love it. Ace B, you're looking forward to hearing Lynx's story. I was telling them what's coming up for this week. God helped one of the gentlemen on my stream, one of my new subscribers, find love. I'm talking about, saw her in a vision in a church and all this. I was like, okay, we're going to have to do a whole show just about God found my mate. So that'll be Wednesday. Like I said, Thursday, I have a guest speaker as well. I think it's at 7:00. I think we're nailing that down. Earlier in that day, on Thursday, I will be on Miss B Vanessa's channel on Thursday. And I see happy birthday goes out to the best moderator ever, Gail Lockett. It's your birthday. Is that what I'm seeing?
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Gail. I see this. Is this real? Happy birthday. Yo, shout out to Gail Lockett. She's one of the, if not the busiest woman in these YouTube streets. I don't know how she does it. She told me she got a couple of computers and she be moderating 2 and 3 streams at a time. I don't know. I salute you for being on my stream, helping me out. Gail, happy birthday to the one and only Gail. I would sing for you, but you get a little dance anyway. Love you, sis. Love what you do. Could not be doing this. So many of us rely on Gail. If you guys don't know, she's on like literally everybody's stream, helping to moderate and throw up people's Amazon, giving information, all that good stuff. So Gail, happy birthday, my darling. Thank you. They said they want to hear links. Everybody saying thank you, Marron. Thank you for happy birthday, Gail. Thank you, Master Lion Tamer. Says Suzette, you are compelling on this platform. You know, I spoke it. Who called me the Law Oprah one time? I said, okay, I'm gonna use that as my hashtag, Law Oprah, for you. I hope it sticks. But that's how I feel, because again, as she demonstrated, and we're both saying, we are more than just attorneys. I love it. I'm good at it, but I have more in me. She has more in her. Look at her. She now using her story to help other women. So I'm glad we can showcase, as y'all say, it's not enough examples out there of women who are doing more, you know, multi-talented and taking care of the home front and getting a bag, like, and you know when to step back and when to push forward. And it was a hard decision, but it's a good thing to be able to show other women this is possible. So I'm grateful for that. To Fireface, Damon Wayans once told Oprah after they Jones on her, we here to heal. Yes, I take that. I receive it. Every drop of that. Thank you very much. Somebody says thank you for another great stream. Oh, yay! Can you read back the poem? We was getting Star Wars. You got the book yet? Read back the poem. I'm gonna take you off of mute real quick. Let me just get my last little goodbyes, because you know I love my people. Yes, Andrea said the same thing. Read that last poem back. Because I want to make sure hold on, let me take it off mute. Here you go. Yes, baby. The floor is yours. I got the facts wrong. I don't know. You read a poem and you say what the significance are. Make sure I get it.
And
right.
bear with me because I'm holding the phone because there's a lot going on.
It's on you.
But and before I read it, please note that my Audible version is me reading the poems as well. So here it goes. This is called Push. It was a beautiful day. It was an ugly day. He's coming, declared the nurse. Sorry, no time for an epidural. Push, she yelled. I can't, I screamed. Push, she yelled again. I can't do this, I cried. He was in handcuffs. Black face pushed onto the gray pavement, chin touching a solid white line, longer than his face. The police officer's knee pushed on his neck, like an ice pack, for more than 9 minutes. You're gonna kill me, man. I can't breathe, he cried. Mama, he shouted. Mama, I'm through. Mama, I love you. Tell my kids I love them. I'm dead. You're doing a lot of talking, man, replied the ice pack, his white hands pushed into his pockets. His mom heard him cry. Her baby was through, dead. One last push. My baby is through, alive. I heard Thomas cry. He is breathing. May 25, 2020, my son Thomas's birthday, George Floyd's death day, a day I will never forget. That's it.
Oh, okay. Thank you, baby. I thought it was that was for your last baby. That was when your last baby was born. I was thinking about it. I was like, I said miscarriage day, but I got it wrong. It was when your baby was born, was also when George Floyd had died. I remember. I remember. Thank you for sharing that. That's movement, y'all. This is heavy stuff, but we don't mind doing it. AC approves. Creative and well done. I love it. We were all like crack, 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 crack. So when I read,
It was
when
bad
you see the
timing.
highlights, I'll chop it up a little bit and we'll take out that little part in there because it was a little
I'm
rough
okay
for a
with
while.
that.
But we struggle stream. It's a part of being a YouTuber. I get it. Meron, you know you my dog. I love you. I'm
I
just
love
so
you
proud
too.
of you. Just seeing you blossom in every which way, girl. We headed to the top, and just thank you for sharing your story. Thanks for encouraging somebody today, and taking
Thank
us
you.
behind the curtain of the beautiful have it all together attorneys and how we struggle just like everybody else, and we're gonna keep working on ourselves. We don't always get it right, but hopefully we can encourage a sister along the way. I hear the baby in the background, so I'm
I
gonna
know
let you
they're
go.
coming. They are coming. But before they leave, I want to say thank you, Suzette, for your sisterhood. I know others know you through this platform, but I know you day to day, and I thank you for being that shoulder for me to lean on throughout the years. That person who I can talk to. You guys don't know what an amazing woman she is. She's changed a lot about me. So I'm grateful for you. I'm excited about everything you're doing, and I love you.
They know I get a little emotional, so thank you, boo. Thank
But
you, boo.
before the kids come, I want to say
Yes.
goodbye.
All
Thank you for
right.
everything.
Peace and blessings. Love you, love you, love you. All right, we'll talk. And I'm just grateful that you could make time. They want you back. So we could probably do a part two whenever, maybe January or whenever you want to. And we could get deeper into other topics.
I
But
would
love
love
you,
that. And
madam.
thank you for listening. Buy the book, Cactus Fruit, A Book of Poems. If you can't remember the name, Cactus Fruit, A Book of Poems. Bye.
Love you. All right, girl.
Bye.
Talk to
Love
you
you.
soon. All right. Woo, that was a wonderful way. I'm glad she made her way back. It happens. It's motherhood. It's balancing everything you got going on. It is vulnerability and strength. That's what we wanted to hit home today. I hope you guys have enjoyed the conversation. I most certainly have. I will see you for our next stream on Wednesday and Thursday as well as Saturday. Dr. Tasha, y'all asked for her. I'm bringing her back. Dr. Tasha was my spunky friend, doctor of psychology, and has done a lot of marriage and singles counseling and had a lot of great insights. So we're going to do a fun show on Saturday as well. All right. Love or no, y'all, I'm about them long goodbyes. So Marron Gebremeskel's book is in the description. Check her out. Fabulous lady lawyer that showed us, behind the curtain. We all are dealing with things, and we are all drawing strength when we are vulnerable, and we can Marron find Suzette. I don't know if they marry outside their culture. I don't know if that's true, but they are fine. But amen. Thank you, Grandma of 11. Thank you to my super chatters. Y'all know I love you, and I will see y'all on Wednesday. Please like, please comment. Thank you for participating and making another great show possible. All right. Thanks for my new subscribers. Love Ono. Hit that like, hit that subscribe. Come check me out on B Finesse's channel on Thursday. God help me find a mate Wednesday. I think we're gonna do it. I think it's like 3 or 4 link me. We will make sure we met the flyer and everybody know what's going on. All right, love y'all. Okay, bye for real. Big up yourself, Ebony. Thank you, baby. Appreciate you. Thank you, Sandy. All right, they say happy birthday one more time. One more time to Gail, like happy birthday. Odetto Chef, I love y'all. All right, see y'all next broadcast. Bye for real. See y'all soon. Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys on the next stream. Bye.